the way you've managed to stay this patient and grounded through this situation should literally be studied. I feel like your programming, they're saying, is clashing with somebody else's programming, or your reality is clashing with someone else's reality. This is giving like your side of the truth, their side of the truth, the actual truth in the middle. This person's kind of leading from emotion here rather than actual facts. So they're kind of looking back over your time together, I'm feeling, and kind of relaying things that have happened, like how something's made them feel, but not actually looking at the facts of the situation, or they're either exaggerating situations or they're just not seeing the clear picture. And I feel like this person is really hurting. And they're kind of saying, if this person was able to look inwards and really kind of offer to look at themselves and just look at kind of, I'm feeling like the ending for you both was extremely chaotic. And I feel like whatever's happened here has kind of put some massive boundaries in place between you. And then they're kind of angry. I'm feeling that you're not seeing the situation the same way as them, or you're not succumbing to the ways that you used to before. There's a real energy of being like quite unhappy with the way you're handling a situation, and it just feels like it has something to do with your freedom or your freedom of speech, or if you're deciding to not even bother with this. You have the Queen of Pentacles. They are trying to kind of make the situation seem like they've been the stable one. They didn't cause any chaos at all in this situation. They've been loving, they've been kind, they've been helpful. And all of this just feels a bit like this isn't what happened, you know? They're trying to stop you basically from moving into your independence, moving into your freedom. I also feel like you may have told this person over and over that you either weren't happy or you were feeling disrespected. There's something where there's a pattern over and over, and this person, I feel, just didn't believe that you would walk away or move to calmer waters, or decide that things aren't aligning with what you are looking for from a relationship. It just feels like you may have had lots and lots of passion, lots of chemistry, but your programming, they keep saying, or your realities are just not matching. And it feels like they're wanting you to not be in the Queen of Pentacles energy. It's almost like they've trapped themselves by thinking you're this awful, toxic person, but they're not seeing the situation from your side. They're not able to look inside themselves and realize the amount of pain, the amount of stress, the amount of struggle, I feel, that they were putting on you or not helping you with or making worse. Or I kind of feel like they feel like they were helping you. They feel like they were this steady rock for you, when in reality they were causing absolute mayhem in your life. And I feel like as you've walked away, you are feeling a lot more stable and a lot more free and a lot more at peace. And I think it's just showing you that if you're not mixing with the right energy, that is going to collide or clash into your energy. And I feel like it's taken a toll on you here. And I feel like you've finally kind of built up the courage enough to be like, no, I know who I am, and I know that anything that you say is your side, your perception, and you do understand that there's different perceptions to people's hurt in life. And I feel like you would be sorry for anything that they really took as a purposeful, toxic, you know? I just feel like whatever the reason is that you haven't been able to make it work, if they can't meet you on your morality or your reality, you're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to be a free human being and have your own agenda or your own path to walk. Like, it feels like you've had this conversation a million, billion times, but yet they're still wanting, your two Moon Oracle cards today were you are good enough and time for healing. And I feel like this energy is that you've stepped away from somebody putting you down, making you feel less than, disrespecting you. And it's kind of made you, cliche, but made you see your worth, and it's made you realize that actually I'm okay on my own and I like who I am, and you don't have to stay at a table that's not feeding you healthy food or healthy love. Like, you can tuck your chair in and walk away in peace knowing you gave everything to this person. And it just feels like they're not seeing that. They're not seeing the time, the effort, the love, the nurture that you put into a situation. And unfortunately, if somebody can't see that and they just keep disrespecting, you have to leave the table. And now I feel like it's almost like they're showing me like a first date and somebody being like, if you keep knocking my chair, I'm going to leave. Like, I've told you so many times, please don't knock my chair. And they're just kicking your chair. You get up and leave. Like, end of. You're within your own bounds of freedom to understand a situation is unhealthy for you and leave. And this person just feels like you're awful, you're horrible for even considering leaving a situation. Yeah. You have two cards of success here. You have the Six of Wands. This is also being like recognized or being seen or putting yourself out there a little bit more, and also being very successful with this. And I think it's just success in realizing that you are good enough and realizing that the right people will, you know, who haven't been perceived or haven't had the same childhood wounds or haven't had the same experiences in life, will perceive you a completely different way to some people. It's so funny, reality. Like, it's not even real. It's like people see you through their own programming, through their own mirrors, through their own subconscious, sometimes through their own projection. And sometimes people mean it really nastily and just project because they don't have the cojones to actually stand up for what they've done. Or sometimes it's literally just they are so far gone that you have to walk away without saying anything because it becomes a whole load of chaos every time you try. That's what I'm feeling. And I think you're noticing this. And I feel like you've kind of handled this situation very differently. Like, I feel an energy of them pushing buttons, trying to get a reaction out of you. And I just feel like you're like, it's not going to happen. Like, I'm just happy in my life. And I feel like you wish this person well. I feel like you don't actually want any bad blood with this person, but if they're not able to see the situation or see that you're good enough or see the actual love that you put into a situation, you're not going to stay at that table. You're not going to remain having your chair kicked. As you should not. Follow me if you'd like to bring your energy closer in for me when I do these future reads on here for the collective. If you would like a private reading, just personal to your situation alone, you can DM me, or my email's in my bio, and I will do another reading for you soon.